Okay friends, welcome to News and Statics, and in this video I shall give a very brief overview of the entry of Babur into India. In fact, a background. The details regarding the same shall not be covered by me, but let's try to just understand the backdrop. So the period of discussion is 1490 to about 1530 CE. During this period there were four main empires in Central Asia, if you may consider. One was the Ottoman Empire in this Anatolian region, one was the Safavid Empire in the Persian region, one was the Uzbek Empire, and another one was centered around Kabul, and that was Babur's empire. So this was the Ottoman Empire, this was the Safavid, this was Uzbek, and this was Babur's empire, which was centered around Kabul. But Babur actually hailed from Uzbekistan, and these things crystallized later on. During the 1300s, Timur was reigning supreme in this entire region of Central Asia. Actually, this entire region was under the control of Timur, and after him a lot of successors came, and slowly these empires crystallized. So Babur had his birthplace in Uzbekistan, in Samarkand region. So he actually wanted to go and capture Uzbekistan, and he tried it with some success but couldn't really succeed. Now before I proceed, let me tell you that Ottoman and Uzbeks were sort of friends, not really, but there was some alliance between them. And correct me if I'm wrong, because I haven't really read about any such alliance, but definitely there was an alliance between the Safavids and Babur. So these two were friends, and both of them were enemies with the Ottomans, and Uzbek and Babur were enemy. You understand the dynamics. So Babur took the help of Safavids under the Shah Ismail to capture Uzbekistan region and defeat those Uzbek chiefs, but he couldn't really succeed in the long term. So Babur then made he set his eyes towards eastern regions, that is India, and in 1519 he invaded this region of Punjab, and he thought that it was his duty to recover that region because it belonged to Timur, who was an ancestor of Babur. And in 1526 a battle was fought at Panipat between the forces of Babur and that was called the Battle of Panipat. It was between the forces of Babur and of Ibrahim Lodi of India. So before I actually proceed, let me tell you one thing. In I think 1514 there was a certain Battle of Chaldiran which was fought between the Ottoman Empire and the Safavid Empire, and the Ottomans surprised the Safavids using gunpowder based artillery, muskets, cannons, and similar tactics was used by Babur in the Battle of Panipat when he surprised Ibrahim Lodi by using these gunpowder based muskets and cannons. And there were many war tactics, but I believe that this use of gunpowder weaponry and artillery was one of the main reasons why Babur defeated Ibrahim Lodi in the Battle of Panipat. And then in 1527 he fought the Rana Sanga, king of Mewar, in Khanwa, and he defeated him again because he had the gunpowder weapons mainly. And the Ottoman Empire, Safavid Empire, and the Mughal Empire formed by Babur were known as gunpowder empires because they were the first to use these gunpowder based artilleries, and before that it wasn't used. The huge infantry and elephants of Ibrahim Lodi couldn't resist the cannons and artillery of Babur. So this was the basic premise. After Babur, Humayun came, and then Sher Shah Suri came. Then a second Battle of Panipat was fought, but those are probably topics of discussion in some subsequent video. And Safavids reigned for about 200-300 years. The Mughal Empire reigned for about 200-300 years. The Ottoman Empire reigned until the 20th century, I believe. So these were long-lasting empires. So in the next video, I shall discuss some issues, not really issues, some facts of the different types of coins which were used during the Delhi Sultanate and the Mughal empires in India in a very brief manner. So for now, I think this is all that I had to discuss. So thank you all for your patient hearing, and do subscribe to News and Statics.